Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for coming back. We can't seem to get hold of John. We think that the Covent has got him, his laptop has blown up, and the end of the world has hit Ireland. So if the stream dies, it's probably because it hit Northern Ireland.
But we found a very poor replacement.
Pardon, Dave?
We found a very poor replacement.
What's that?
Me.
You're gonna say me. Oh, okay.
You were already here.
You've been here from the start.
I'm gonna die now. Excuse me.
So, the new addition, the new replacement is Dave. Thanks very much for coming, Dave.
No problem.
Yeah, well, we'll make you the guest. Hold on, we'll change it to this. There you go. Now Dave's the guest. So, Dave...
Do you want to hear more about Dearborn?
More about what?
Dearborn, Michigan.
Go for it, man. Yeah, like, the show was yours.
Oh, it's mine? Oh, thank you.
Well, seeing there's nobody to
I'm
fight
interviewing MathPig tonight.
Pardon?
Yeah. So, when we went out there, I was with another guy from my department, but this guy, no polish on him, okay? I mean, he just... He was a wrestling fan. He was built like a wrestler. But every time he walked into a room, it was like he was walking into the ring. You know what I mean? So there was always just goofy nonsense bullshit coming out of his mouth. So it was kind of fun, but also kind of scary. You know what I mean? And so we ended up at the hotel that night. It would have been the first night there. And we're preparing for the next day to... this was a homicide thing too, so we got to see some really cool people like Dr. Lee and Dr. Biden, if you ever watched Autopsy on HBO. So we got to see all that stuff. You know, it was really cool. But we're in the middle of Dearborn, Michigan. If you don't know, Dearborn, Michigan actually has a very high population of Muslims.
Yep.
And because I told him when we were going through Ohio, I was like, we need to grab some beer if we're going to have some beer at the hotel, because it's Sunday night, shit's gonna be closed. Oh no, we'll get there. Don't be stuff there. So yeah, we end up in Dearborn, Michigan. Drop our shit. They go to the nearest Quick Mart. We walk in and I'm looking around and I don't see any beer, and it dawns on me, okay, there's no beer here. Getting ready to walk out. Doesn't dawn on him. He's like yelling, "Where's the fucking beer around here? Where's the beer? Why is there any beer?" And the guy behind the glass is obviously, Middle Eastern. He's like, "No beer, no beer." He's like, "What do you mean no beer? Why don't you have it?" He was like, "Oh no, Allah forbids it." And my humble, accompaniment there. He's like, "No beer? Well, fucking all Akbar to you then." I'm like, "Oh Jesus Christ." Yeah, so I'm like, I don't even want to walk into the same vehicle that he's getting into, you know what I mean? Because I'm thinking of getting shot or something. So, yeah. Good times in Dearborn, Michigan.
Dave, after watching tonight's stream, is there one of the many things that I missed asking Seamus and John that you can think of that you would like to ask Seamus?
No, the problem is they are far more experienced than me.
Pardon
so
you?
They managed.
You're very quiet.
I am?
No, you're not. Go on ahead.
No, I'm not. You know, shouts at my laptop. I can type. No, unfortunately not. Because they are very good at covering things.
Thank you.
I love the way he put that. I asked bad questions, but you're really good at covering things. Geo, just give me 1 second. There we go. Oh, he's in the wrong slot. Everybody say hello to Geo.
Hey, Sam.
What's happening?
Geo is very good people, works an awful lot with GIMP and things like that there, does artwork a wee bit for the channel, and is one of my Patreons. Very good people.
Cool.
Glad to be here.
So how was your day, Sam? How's it going?
How's my day going?
Yeah.
Just a lot of talk about you-know-what, the virus.
Oh, on that note, have you seen that Trump has just pulled all US funding for the WHO?
For the what?
WHO.
Oh, jeez. No surprise there.
Yeah, I was just as I was walking by, because my parents have Fox on all the time. I could hear him. I didn't hear what he was talking about. I just heard him speaking of the WHO. So go figure.
Your country is screwed until you get rid of him. I mean, it's screwed afterwards as well, but you might start to get better.
Right?
Well, obviously that's some sort of communist propaganda, so we have to dismiss it from America. So,
Well, yesterday I had to go to the bank and deposit a check, and I don't have any regular masks that I can wear. You know, like those masks that everyone's wearing. I don't know where they're getting them from because I can't find them. But so I just put a bandana over my face, and I walked into the bank, and they wouldn't let me in.
Did you have your hands in your pocket?
yeah.
They told me I had to remove my mask in order to come in.
Really?
Masks are very, like as
So
people know, I work.
They motioned to me. They just pointed at my face and were going down, down, and motioning down. And I'm like, "You mean my mask?" You know, I'm pointing at my mask, and they're shaking their heads. Yes, yes. I'm like, no, no. So I went and deposited my check in the ATM, and guess what? I forgot to endorse it on the back. So I wasted a trip to the bank yesterday,
I know again.
and I possibly risked getting the virus at the same time. So there.
Well, mask thing, you know. I've given the mask lecture. It's never moving on. Wear gloves. The masks aren't really going to help.
Yes,
Unless
but there's, we had a biological guy on there last night. We had Doc Savage on last night. He says, wear the masks, wear the glove, just treat everything as if you're infected. Not that he said you were wrong.
Yeah. The problem is nobody knows how to wear them properly and use them properly, right?
Well, I'm just telling you this.
They'll put the gloves on, then they'll handle shit that might be contaminated. Then they'll rub it all over their face, and they'll pick up something else, you know, and then they're blowing their nose and they're doing everything else, and they think, well, I'm safe. You know, there's no PSA for how to do it. So.
Amanda had a fucking
nurse the other day.
Amanda had a shit attack last week because I went to the shop and was buying stuff in the shop and had no gloves on and was pushing the trolley and being really good and then needed to lift stuff off the shelves with both my hands. So I put the shopping list, which had been sitting in the trolley, in my mouth and then lifted the stuff down. And she was, you did what? What did you do? Yeah.
And you were, what, your excuse was because you were on the phone with me? You didn't want to put the phone down?
Yeah, you're like undermining the whole purpose of trying to keep yourself safe by shoving your list in your mouth.
I know. Seamus, I've been very intrigued by what's going on in your background.
What, the lava lamp?
No, all of it. There's I noticed I noticed the shamrock after I asked you about your Irish descent.
Yeah. Somebody gave this to me as a gift a long time ago. Family member. So, I don't know. Do you have any specific questions about what I got back here?
We've got a massive amount of bobbly heads. What do you call them?
Yeah, me and my daughter's been collecting over the years. On top, because I used to have this guy, Travis Bickle from Taxi Driver, on top of
pop vinyls.
Top of the lava lamp. But now I got Agent Dale Cooper from Twin Peaks. So I got a Mini Cooper, so to speak, on top of there. So when Twin Peaks came back, I threw him up there, and he's been there kind of since.
Just
and
nothing.
then I got a what's this? This is from Dogma. What do you call it? The Buddy Christ.
Buddy Christ.
Yeah.
Gotta love Buddy Christ.
Well, I got him right beside the police box for Doctor Who, because my daughter's a big Doctor Who fan, and as she points out, the Doctor's better than Jesus. It might have been the first Jesus, you know. So.
Dave is a massive fan of Doctor Who.
Yeah. So, Star Trek figures over here.
Anything Star Wars?
Sherlock up there, Star Wars,
Ah, you got
Marvel figures, Magneto, all those guys. Ash from Evil Dead is down here too.
No, man.
South Park.
What did you think of the Evil Dead
Ren and
series?
Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy, big, massive.
Oh, yeah.
Dave actually does a quiz show, and he was like, "What's your favorite cartoon cat?" And Stimpy was definitely
Stimpy.
yeah.
Nice. Yeah, there's never been a show like that before and since. That was fucking
The cat
great.
what from Red Dwarf.
Well, no, you all decided that.
What's that?
I was deaf
What's that?
because Cat from Red Dwarf did appear in one episode and in some comic books that were cartoonish.
Okay.
That is a loophole, as an exception to the rule. Cat from Red Dwarf was allowed to be a cartoon cat, your favorite one. But I still
Yeah, it
stick
don't
with
sound
Stimpy.
right.
Will
Yeah.
Will any of you guys know Fritz the cat?
Fritz the cat. Fritz.
Guys-
Is that from Tom and Jerry or what is that?
No, Fritz the cat. I suggest you just look it up because I'm not going to explain it. It's
Okay.
an adult. It's an adult cartoon.
Okay.
that
Well,
was
I do
made,
like Happy Tree Friends. Have you ever seen Happy Tree Friends, Seamus?
No, I have not.
You need to look up Happy Tree Friends. Have you ever seen
Right.
Llamas with Hats?
Llamas with hats?
Llamas with Hats. In the very first
No.
episode, one of the llamas stabs a human 47 times.
Okay, good
yeah,
times.
Yeah, good. No, I said extreme, but it's absolutely hilarious. And there's a whole meat dragon, and then there's the end of the world, and it's all caused by one of the llamas with a hat. It's there's also Charlie the Unicorn. There's lots
Sounds
of adult
right up my
cartoons.
alley.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I have sick humor, so that sounds like me. Sounds good. Good stuff.
Wes, I've got your Twitter, man. I'm following you. You're following me. Just go to my homepage, send me a message, and
I
then
sent the link.
there you go. Mama sent you the link. So Seamus, I never asked you, man. Have you any plans for the channel?
Well, we just did our first live channel, so hopefully we will do a few more of those. That was pretty fun.
I didn't catch it. Did you just use StreamYards and do it that way?
Yeah, that's what we did. We had Andy Hall or Andrew Hall.
Oh, the guy from
those-
did the book.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pathos, humor and stuff. Oh, sorry, I got deer outside my house. Just saw them. Sorry about that. Yeah, Andrew. Sorry, yeah. Another Boston. Funny guy. Good times. So we
I
had
would
that,
definitely suggest
Sunday.
reaching out to Neil the 604 Atheist on Twitter.
Oh, we've been down at Red Brother. We've
Did
been on Neil and he's been on us. Yeah.
Ah,
So we got him early.
Oh, Randolph was in the chat earlier. Do you remember Randolph?
Yeah,
Richardson?
I know. Richard Randolph. Or
He
Randolph
must have said to me
Richardson.
like 6 times.
Yeah, double R. I just refer to him as that because it's easier. So, but yeah, good guy. Good guy.
Yeah, far too
So-
nice. Did you see him on my channel a couple of weeks ago against Darth Dawkins?
Yes.
That's
Yeah. There's a lot of good Canadian atheists up there. Lilith. I don't know if you guys know her. She's
Had her
she's
on.
really great on Twitter.
Lilith Liberated.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, she's in the
fuck,
Twitter
who
group.
else is up there? Logos Pilgrim, also known as the Quiet Professor. She's written some really fantastic books. In fact, what the hell is her book? She wrote a book. It's about a lot of things, actually. I wish it was. No, it's not here. I gotta find. I think my daughter has it. I think it should be given to everybody that has the what was the foundation? Not freedom from religion, but recovery from religion. It really does a great job of just alleviating that kind of guilt and attachment to religion, and that that whole idea of basically like religion and God is kind of this abusive spouse or parent or whatever. Just fantastic book. I really can't say enough good things about it, but of course I can't think of the fucking title of it. I'm gonna have to look it up. now.
Do you have a favorite book, Seamus? And hello, Wes. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Yeah,
inviting me.
My favorite current book is still 1984, but you figured that out.
Yeah. As I've said to Mama before, my favorite book has been, ever since I've read it, and must have read it at least 10 times, and always probably will be, Stone Junction by Jim Dodge.
What was it?
Stone Junction by Jim Dodge.
I don't know that one.
It's
Oh, neither.
a woman, a young girl who it's a young girl who gets sent to a convent because she gets pregnant at a young age. She decides to run away, and she ends up part of like an organization of like criminals and intelligent people, and she dies at a young age, and the son gets taken in by the organization, and rather than going to school they send him to masters. So like send him to a master of gambling, he learns to make money. Send him to a master of disguises, you know, it's alchemists, thieves and wizards or something is the group. And yeah, the entire book builds up to a point, and the last chapter just blows your mind. So definitely don't be one of those people where you read the end first. But like I read that book, it must be 500 and something pages. I read it in 2.5 days, 3 days, man. You cannot put it down. You just can't.
So the book I was referring to is called Rascal, a Manifesto by Logos Pilgrim. That's how you could find it. Is there a way I can send you the link?
You can put anything in the private chat.
See how I can do that here.
No dick pics in the private chat, though. I take that back.
Don't worry. I'm not one for sharing pictures of mine. So
Wes, thank you very much for joining us, man. I've, as I said, I've seen you in a few chats and stuff. We've bantered back and forth, but appreciate you joining.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. Momma Atheist, thank you for sending me the link finally and getting it. I was having a little trouble with it. But anyway,
Yeah.
back to Samus. What? I'm not familiar. Can you tell me a little bit who you are real quick?
So I'm part of a podcast called the Free Thought Prophet. I don't really know how to describe the show other than that basically myself and John Hamill, who is from Ireland, I have Irish heritage. That's why I go by Seamus. For other reasons. Just try to have people on the show that we want to talk to. It's very laid back. Julian Bacini, Dr. Julian Bacini, apologies, kind of coined us as pub philosophers.
Cool.
Just because, you know, we just basically the idea is we have a drink, we just talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about, and you know, it's not, exactly. It's not a whole lot of, you know, gotcha drama shit. Although, I mean, we do tend to kind of deal into topics sometimes that are, but it's just kind of a relaxed, kind of chill out kind of thing. So, so yeah.
Ours is a bit rigorous, but it's kind of an educational philosophy kind of thing.
Okay,
with
cool.
Controversial topics. If you send me a link, I'll check out your channel and stuff too. And
yeah,
maybe you can have you on if you're interested.
Yeah, I don't know if MathPig could kind of be the go-between between us there, or somebody send me something.
Yeah.
Or, well, if you see my name, that's my Twitter there.
Okay.
So you can get me that way.
Yeah.
Even. Yeah.
I'll add you Twitter.
So, cool, man.
I'm not good at Twitter, obviously, because I couldn't even find the link and stuff. But maybe Momma Atheist can send me a link or something.
Cool.
Again.
Cool. Well, here, I'll send you something.
That's great.
I'll put it in the private.
So, what's some topics you've done? Like,
oh, my. Well, like some of it.
educational things?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's educational. I'm sure people have found some things of it. But, I mean, like, the topics, and MathPig, Robbie knows this from when I invite him on the show.
Do you know, probably this stream and the last stream, my real name has probably been said 1,000,000 times.
Sorry.
More. No, I don't care. I don't care. I don't. Everybody knows, but it's just you have picked up on that because that was the first introduction. I don't generally give a fuck. You know, everybody knows where I'm from and who I am, but I just find it's funny because most people, as you know yourself, Seamus, when you're on the internet, most people refer to you as your moniker. But everybody in this room, with the exception of Wes, who I have spoken to, probably knew my original name. Dave knows my home phone number and has rang me when I'm tired to wake me up going, do you know you're 15 minutes late for a stream? Shit!
I've had that happen once or twice, but that's what other topic.
Sorry, go on ahead.
Yeah, whenever I reached out to Robbie, I told him, I was like, you know, hey, or I asked you whether, you know, what's topics you like, because, you know, I was trying to, whenever we bring a guest on, you know, we might want to talk about this. But I also want to say, hey, you know, if you have something that you're passionate about that you want to talk about, tell me what it is so we can, you know, bring it in the conversation somehow. And like for me, I love death denial, Ernest Becker stuff. I think that's fucking fascinating. and also big on the whole Jesus mythicist thing. John's big thing is AI and free will.
Oh yeah.
He's a very hard determinist. So, which I also enjoy too, but he's big
Yeah.
on that.
See, that's quite
he's really
funny
big on
because
it.
you've got Dave.
Yeah.
Dave's huge into his AI, and Momma's actually
There you
friends.
go.
Momma's actually friends with Godless Engineer, who is
Well, there you go. So,
huge.
well, I would say the Godless Engineer probably isn't a friend of mine. Nothing against him, but I got in the crosshairs of that whole Stephen McRae.
Oh man, just no. I see you're friends with
Yeah.
Richard Carrier.
Well,
Yeah.
okay.
Do you know Robert Price?
Yep.
I've had him on the show. If you'd like, I can ask
No.
him if you'd like.
He's been
Or-
actually he's been on our show about a dozen times.
Oh,
man.
has he?
Yeah,
Okay.
and actually recently too. So
Okay.
good fan of the show.
He's a great guy, I think. And Richard
Yeah.
Carrier's cool guy too. I've met him in person, and then
I like
seen
Richard,
him a
but
couple times on.
the only problem that I've had with
Yeah.
Richard that came out via Twitter. I mean, of course, we got accused of being rapist proppers
sure.
from him, amongst other guests. Like I said, we've had David Silverman on the show too, and people
Yeah.
kill us for that. But the only problem I had with Richard was John kind of just, very passively, very innocently, kind of tweeted to him, "Hey, what about this?" as an argument of free will, because Richard very much a compatibilist, and Richard just turned into a complete dickhead. to be
Oh,
honest.
really?
And honestly, that's the nicest thing I can say about it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we did some blogs on it.
I'm surprised.
It was really bad. I mean, it was for as good as he is as a debater, because he has debated
He's
women.
professional.
Yeah, Willem and Craig and all these people, right? Total bullshit, just total attacked. He you must be part of the German curve. What's the curve? Not the bell curve, but the
Done.
yeah.
Or something?
yeah, Doug Kruger. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess we're part of the just real horrible. Yeah, it was really bad. I'll find that too and send it to you at some point. But
send
it was really bad.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'm a huge fan. I mean,
Yeah.
right there is his book.
Yeah.
Like I said in the previous thing, me and him went drinking in Pittsburgh. I like the guy, but goddamn, did he come off like a dickhead?
Yeah.
So
That's-
I don't. Yeah, it's sad.
I've got his book. I've got his book right here too.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first one on Sense and Goodness Without God, and it's got a lot of metaphysics stuff in it that
Yeah.
I've been trying to get through, and I haven't got through it. But it is an interesting book. I just suck at reading. But
Wes, I've been meaning to ask you your two masks in the back of it.
What's that?
Your two.
my mask. Yeah, they're just from. I'm not even sure where they're from. Different parts of Africa, and I've got one from Jamaica that I picked up, but the others I just ordered online because I think they're cool looking.
Also,
Nice.
they're not real. They just fake and look cool.
Yeah, they're wood, and they did come from Kenya or somewhere. This one's Indonesia, I guess. This one's Indonesia. I think the other's Kenya.
So, is the reason they're there is because they look cool, or are they a fake representation of something that actually means something?
They kind of mean a little bit to me. I don't know what exactly, and I just like the culture of it.
Man, I bring
It's just,
stones
I
home
enjoy
from
the
the
culture.
yeah. I bring stones home from the beach because they look at me the right way, and it's just it's fine. No, I get that.
Yeah.
Dave, nobody can understand your
I hear
robot
that.
voice filter. Either turn your robot voice filter off or move closer to the hub.
Are you saying we should throw stones at you?
I spent all day today, well, not all today, but I spent about 2 hours today with the daughter down at the river throwing stones in the river. You seen the pictures, Dave.
Nice.
It was great fun.
Yeah.
That's, that's one of the good things about COVID is I'm off during the day when the good weather's there. Like, what's the first thing you said, Dave, when you seen it? I want to be there now. I've totally ruined her shoes, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get the stains out of her trousers, but I took her right out to the middle of the river and like the waterfall thing, and then the dog ran off, and out of instinct, I ran after the dog, And about fucking 200 yards up the road, I was like, fucking got the dog, but jeez, I just left the child on like in the middle of the river. Hold on, I come back down again. She was fine. She was just sitting throwing stones, splashing her feet on it. She's no fear, that wee girl. No fear. I'm going to edit that bit out because I'm now a bad father. But no, she is totally independent, not independent, but she no fear. She's a great wee girl, and no, and don't even get me started. I'll start talking about my daughter. Everybody knows what I'm like.
Okay. So, Seamus, what other topics have you had? I heard you say free will. That's cool. That's something we'd like to discuss too. Any other like philosophy or science topics that you've done that you enjoyed?
That's rough.
Maybe give us some ideas for our channel.
Really, I mean, free will has been a big one.
Yeah.
Death denial. I'm big on that.
yeah.
Becker kind of.
Yeah, I like
ideas.
that.
Those are great.
Have you solved the free will question?
Have I solved it? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I mean, John's a very hard determinist. I honestly never even delved into this until John brought it up. Like I said, I mean, for those that don't know, I was a very much right-wing fundamental Christian, so the idea of free will was just assumed, right? So I didn't even go down that road. But yeah, I would say I'm at least a soft determinist. Not to engage in soft and hard as a pornographic term, but you know what I mean. I definitely lean towards more of that idea because compatibilists just the arguments they make to me are very much the idea of that the same kind of arguments that the religious person might make for the idea of soul, right? Or the idea that we are something more than we are, and also my grandmother was schizophrenic, and so to have that idea that at one point her soul was okay with being a normal person, but now not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The wiring of the brain just kind of lends to the idea that that is not the same person, right?
Yeah.
So to say that the ghost inside the machine is constantly fighting with that other person doesn't make sense. I mean, you're actually inventing something else that makes sense to try to supplant the ideas of what we don't know. It gets to be the gap, the gods of the gaps kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I really don't understand how the people that are against this, like Sean Carroll and Matt Dillahunty. Matt Dillahunty really, I don't understand how the argument he has is always Dan Dennett says. I mean, he's like a kind of affirmed Dan Dennett as this pope, where if you look to any argument that he brings up on his show, if someone were to call in and say, "Hey, Pope Francis said this," well, that's an argument from authority. well, Matt, you did the same thing. It's just not a good argument.
He is, but he's doing it from the perspective of the experts in their field. Although the problem there is not consensus. I mean, Dennett is an expert in the field, but
his arguments are kind of shit, though, aren't they? I mean, his arguments are all this idea that we can't recognize whether or not free will is there because of the little people. The little people, if they knew that there was no free will, then they would obviously go out and rape and pillage. That's a religious argument.
There is vague consensus within psychology that there is no free will.
Yeah.
There is. Don't get me wrong. There is also consensus that they think that it's probably better that we believe there is.
Exactly.
Which I don't necessarily understand that or agree with that myself, but I am a soft determinist, like you said you are.
Yeah.
I think, and I don't know that these implications that if determinant is true, then people are just going to sit by and do nothing because they feel they don't have anything to offer the world or something. I don't know about that. If that's what it means, I think.
Well, I think that's
everybody's got to determine what for themselves what that means, as far as.
But I think that's the argument against it.
Yeah.
I mean, even if I am a determinist, and I have to realize that it's the process of the molecules in my brain predetermined, blah blah blah. that I'm going to pick up this jar of whiskey and drink it now. You know what I mean? Just because I can acknowledge it doesn't mean that I still don't enjoy life. That I still don't enjoy, spending time with my daughter. That I still don't take an active approach to doing what we are now. I mean, so
whether I even tell my mind what it does, I don't think even matters. I just enjoy being part of it. I don't know my future for one, even though it may be determined. I don't know what it is, so it's still surprising to me when it comes.
right.
And so I just try to live and learn and do what I can. I don't.
But this is the point.
One way or the other, I don't know.
It doesn't change anything because we have the perception we do.
Or maybe we
Right.
do. I don't know. It comes back to I don't know too with me.
Someone
Right.
in,
You said we have the perception and we don't have the choice. Is that what you're saying? Or we do?
We have the perception of freedom, but we are living a life
Yeah.
that we think we
Yeah.
control.
Yeah. We may be fooling ourselves, I guess, and that I don't even know if we're fooling ourselves.
Even if we
That's-
have free will, it's almost certainly not the free will that we think we have.
Yeah.
Yes,
That I agree with.
Something like 98% of all decisions are already made long before it hits our conscious mind.
Yeah.
It's a
A little bit of
bit.
experiment.
We've got an influence over kind of the programming of how those decisions are made in the future, but we don't make those in the moment. They're automated.
Yeah.
So we might have this little bit of influence that you could say that might come back and say we've got free will over this tiny little bit.
Dave, have you got the free will to sort your audio, or can you?
All I can try and do is boost. There is nothing different to usual.
I know. I'm
I
just
think my
trying to wind
nickname-
you up. I'm only winding you up. Go on ahead. I haven't been involved in the conversation.
Shut up.
Well, do we have free don't?
He thinks he's a smart ass now, doesn't he? You're back, Dave. You're back.
I don't think we have free don't either, though. I don't know how that argument plays out. I don't know.
Dave, there's a few people in the chat asking what determinism is. Could you do it in like 1 or 2 sentences for them?
Given my audio, I'd suggest that either Wes or James does.
yeah, we need
Same
an explanation for determinism for some of the people in the
Wes or
Go ahead, Wes.
Seamus? Yeah, go Wes.
Uh,
Wes, give a determin.
I don't know how to explain that. Just everything is determined by the laws of physics. Therefore,
Science rules.
our actions, everything, and behavior, thought, even our thoughts are already determined by just laws of physics, not necessarily God. Some people think it's include God. I don't because I'm atheist. But
I would also include genetic predisposition and also a complement of our experience.
Seamus, just to
So-
jump
Yeah,
in, just to jump
That's
in and
the thing.
interject if I can. Wes defined himself as an atheist. Would you define yourself now as an atheist? Oh, look, Dave fucking muted himself. An atheist, an agnostic, or what would you be? Your,
agnostic atheist is what I usually say.
would you be?
I'm with that too. Yeah. The idea. I mean, if you could actually produce, some sort of valid evidence otherwise, then I might consider,
Yeah, me too.
something. But even then, we still have to go down a rabbit hole of supernatural versus, an actual deity.
A pantheist God or something like that.
Yeah,
maybe.
exactly.
Has either Wes or Seamus, have either of you ever experienced anything that could be put under the umbrella of supernatural, or something you haven't explained, or anything like that?
I will say I had a spiritual experience. My 20th birthday. Well, what I call a spiritual experience was just me going to the top of a mountain by myself. Well, my uncle up until about half mile up, and they were elk hunting. I went just for the pleasure of climbing the mountain and getting to the top. And so I got up there, I meditated, watched the sunset go down while I meditated and stuff. It was awesome. My adrenaline was running like heck,
Right.
But that was the closest thing. As I think that's mostly what people think of as a religious thing, is also that feeling good, that over emotional, maybe a Jesus high sometimes if they're in church.
Mm.
I think that's mainly what it is, probably. I don't know. That's the closest thing to a spiritual experience I've had.
What about yourself, Seamus?
Well, I mean, I'm a musician, a guitarist, and playing in a band. I mean, that's just an incredible high.
Yeah.
So I've had a few experiences as far as that goes. I mean, as far as things that I can't explain, I've had things like when I was a kid, laying in bed, remember seeing like a dark figure going across the room, kind of thing, and the TV turning off because when I was a kid, that was one of the rituals I had at that age, was just leaving the TV on to go to sleep because I always needed noise.
Yeah.
And this figure, whatever, and then boom, the TV went off, and when I woke up, I was in the same position and the TV was off. I mean, I can't explain that, but
TV's
Just like
automatically
that.
switch off.
yeah, well, chance out of 10, either the power flicked off during the night, or
Yeah.
mom and dad came in, just, turned it off, and nobody remembered doing it, or, I mean, it's just, there's always an
That's not
explanation.
too strong evidence, I don't think so.
No, exactly. So, I mean, I'm not by any means passing on to some sort of, freak of nature.
Oh yeah, no, I totally
Yeah.
agree with you, man. I've experienced,
I haven't had anything like that.
I've experienced things that could, that could be put even more so into the realm of that. A wee short story being, back in the day when there was no internet and us being kids, we used to pass the porn magazines between all the boys and stuff, yeah. And we had like one porn magazine between like 10 of us, and we all took our turns.
You're the
with-
reason why the pictures stuck together, right?
No. Rubber gloves, man. Anyway,
Yeah.
went round.
There is a lady among us,
And the parents found out about it, and it was announced in the small school that we were in, and at the time it was my turn to have it, and I had hid it in a back storeroom in an old TV or in an old telephone table at the very bottom under all these old books and everything. There was no way anyone in the world would find it, but we had spent the day at my mother's grandfather's land. She had been walking around. She was there when he died. She had looked after him before he died and all this. And she had a dream that night, and I woke up being like, she was screaming at me at 4 a.m. because she'd found it, because she had a dream that he had told her where it was.
My.
And that's, she didn't know who had it. It was just an announcement in school that this was floating around. Things like that make me think, which is why I would remain as I'm not even going to say it because it'll just trigger Dave. But I would just say agnostic over agnostic atheist. But I always put the caveat as atheist to the Christian God, but agnostic in general. I would rather say that than an atheist agnostic or agnostic atheist, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But that's what the rest of us actually say.
Oh, fuck, I don't care what the whole lot of you say. It's not the words that matter. They're just labels. It's the description. Don't get down the epistemology of it. I'm going to slap you.
Not learned that yet, Dave. Jeez.
Well, you know what it is? It's funny when I hear the word spiritual, I don't know what I can't connect anything to it that makes any sense to me.
This is it.
Yeah.
It is meaningless. They
Right.
attach whatever they want. It is a shared meaning as a concept. It has no coherent meaning.
Right. Now, in saying that, Dave, have you ever had a proper full-on conversation with someone in real life that has been spiritual? Or have you just done it online? Because just before the COVID kicked in, I know a guy who was very religious, and their son or daughter passed away. They found no support from the church and this, that and the other, and listening to him describe what was spiritual to him, you could definitely tell that he was feeling something and getting something from it, even though his description of a spiritual...
I'm not saying people don't feel something. I'm not saying that there's not. What I'm saying is that the feeling and the concept and what the word means to someone in terms of communication.
Yeah, it's
the
like
word
flat
spirit-
earthers. Everybody has their own definition.
Well, how does one tell the difference between something that's spiritual or something that's just coming from your brain that you're thinking? How do you tell the difference between the
They're
two?
all
Education.
just coming from your brain.
Education.
Yeah,
education.
they're all coming from it, I think. You can question what is coming from brain. I think is what separates the more intellectual types and the not so intellectual types. I don't know if that's a good phrasing, but
So you can't tell the difference, right?
There isn't a difference.
No, but that's what I'm saying. People use the same word and they have different meanings for it. But what they're saying is that they're thinking that this is happening.
When other people talk about it, specifically, that I'm going to be very generalized towards Christians at this because I don't want to overemphasize. But when you talk to them and they say that they've had something spiritual, okay, they are automatically assume it's outside their head. The second that they talk to someone else from another religion that claims that their stuff is spiritual, that's all in their head.
Well, how did they determine that? That's what I'd like to know.
It doesn't agree with what they say.
yeah.
There is no difference. There is no. This is the problem.
Yeah.
Well,
My God is real. I can feel him. Your God is not real. It's just in your head.
That's why I just cancel them out and say they're probably not any of them real when it comes down to it. I only say probably because I can't prove it, of course. But
Well, you see, that's the thing. Being able to stand up and say that way is, I don't know.
Yeah.
Whenever we grew up, being
Yeah.
able to say, I don't know was a bad thing. It always came across as a derogatory thing, being able to say, I
Yeah.
don't know. So it is safer to say God of the gaps and things like that there because it makes you, generally people as a mass are a sheep and would rather pass the administration up and the worry up. So if there's something out there and we can find an answer for it, boom, I can stop worrying about it now. I don't have to worry about it.
yeah. Well said.
yeah, that's part of it, definitely.
I've also had a guy tell me I was spiritual that was at the time, Ollie, he was from Iraq and a Muslim they pray, 4 times a day?
Yeah, I think
Or
that's
5, something like that. He was praying 4 or 5 times a day and doing all this stuff, and he was calling me spiritual, and I couldn't figure out how. So I need to ask him sometime, figure out why he thought I was spiritual just because I meditated maybe a little bit back then, because I was kind of into Buddhism at the time. But I think he was referring to it more as metaphorically a big heart and into loving everyone and things like that. If that's what spiritual means, then we're all spiritual. So I don't know what people's definition of spiritual is at all.
Yeah, that's hard to pin down.
I don't even think people who say I'm spiritual,
I don't think they know.
they don't even know their own definitions.
Yeah.
But you can ask everyone in this chat what the word spiritual means to them, and not one definition will be identical.
Yeah. I think so too.
Sal.
That's why it's kind of a bullshit term, really.
Well,
Yeah.
Sorry.
I just wanted to,
Yeah, it is.
Atheism Works, I just wanted to say thanks for Sal for joining us. Sal does an awful lot of the artwork, as I mentioned earlier. Geo does some, Sal does, not to put Geo down, but Sal does fucking tons of artwork for this channel, and I can't give the man an awful lot of respect.
Sal's the man. He knows his art. He knows his art.
I love his trucks and stuff he does. I've seen them on his website.
Oh, you got it? Yeah, man.
Much kudos. I checked them out a while back, and I loved them. Those were cool. And the actual real trucks he did, way even cooler. That's really
Yeah,
good
the
work.
stuff that's behind it
I
on
love
the
that.
live chats, I guarantee you now there's not a person in this world that can actually reproduce that man's work. The way the colours and the artwork. No, I'm biased, obviously, but no, check out easismworks.com. Give it a couple of weeks. We're trying to get it up and running again. We're trying to get it all sorted and stuff, but yeah, definitely bookmark it, have a look. Like, not only does the man buy little toy trucks and graffiti the toy trucks, he's actually graffitied real life trucks and has pictures to prove it. Okay, Sal, now that we've done making your dick huge, do you want to introduce yourself?
If you don't know me, Easism on Ease, and I'm an artist. Yeah, man, you put me on the spot. I don't.
There you go, you feel better now. Count to 10. 1, 2.
Yeah, I usually just hang out in the back, and I love interesting conversations, so I'll join them as often as I can.
We're working on a line of t-shirts. Sal's going to be designing some t-shirts for a few of other content creators out there. Definitely give a look out. It's going to be a limited series. Give the man some love. Sal,
Thank you.
what's your Twitter? Shout it out.
Easism works.
There you
Easism works. To keep it really simple, so you can always find me.
You're mainly on Instagram though, yes?
Yes, the majority. I have the majority of my stuff up on Instagram. It's just at Easism. No works, and a lot of my work is there. A lot of my live work. A lot of the murals that I've done, they're all posted there. Yeah, you'll see some stuff I did back in the early 90s, not late 90s, early 90s.
Yeah, the crazy bastard has stuff from 1997 and step-by-step guide.
93.
90, I think the one you showed me the other day though of the mural.
That was
That was 93,
93.
yeah. The actual growing of a tree on the wall and how it comes... No.
Oh, no, yeah, that was different, yeah. No, I did a mural for my nieces in their bedroom when they were born, and their blossom trees. So, yeah, I take still shots, and I try to keep, what do you call that? A sequence.
Sal, really quickly, find three or four pictures that are very handy, and just DM them me in Twitter. Or not Twitter. Sorry, Discord. Send them to me in Discord. While you're doing that, and totally not to distract you, have you any questions for Seamus after watching the show tonight?
Well, so far I kind of got caught up into the chat, but it's not questions. It's just you're talking about determinant.
Oh, she didn't watch the show.
Yeah,
that's all right. He didn't watch the show. No, it's fine. He didn't watch.
Yeah, no, I haven't. Today I'm getting no notifications from anything. I'm dead in the water. So if I don't search it, it doesn't come up.
As I told you earlier, Dave found this live stream before I did, and I fucking scheduled the thing. I even have a tab on my fucking homepage that says upcoming live streams, and it wasn't in it until I hit go live, and then Dave whiffed. I was like, what the fuck? I can't even find this shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. In the chat. Hey, Richard.
Wes, have you ever met Richard?
Richard. Who's Richard?
Richard Madsen would be my brother from another mother.
Oh, Madsen, yeah. I've never met him yet. He seems like a neat guy. I like all this community, though. I mean, I haven't met anybody bad yet.
Well, that's what we're trying to do here. We are trying...
You know, even Dave.
See that?
Do you know what I think is absolutely fucking hilarious? Is there is a new person who I very much appreciate all the newcomers, but there is a new person that has started arriving for my live streams who is called Dashing Dave, and I have started referring to him as the Dashing Dave, because then we've just got the ordinary Dave.
I'm going to run away to eat, so I'll be in the back.
Okay.
That's all right, Richard. Richard, would you like in? I'll email you the link, Richard. Come in and say hello.
Well, I have to pop out there, Robbie, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course it's okay, man. Geo, I appreciate it.
Nice talking to you.
Good to see you, Sam.
Geo's also, Geo's big lot of love for Geo. A lot of love for him.
Yeah, you guys have a good show. I'll watch it from YouTube and take care.
Cool, thanks. Thanks. Yeah, I got about 10-15 minutes, and I'm going to have to bounce.
In saying that, man, we were talking about going for an hour. So. We'll go for another 10 minutes, and that will probably do us for tonight. It's
cool.
In all honesty, as I said earlier,
Eastism, I think, didn't like our deterministic views. Do you have a counter?
Go for that, Wes.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I wasn't really paying attention to I was more stuck in the chat than I was listening to you guys. So I don't want to misinterpret what you said. Would you mind repeating your view on it?
Oh boy.
Briefly, you don't have to get into detail.
Okay. Again, I'm very much new to this argument. Okay. So, like I said, and I think Wes agreed that we're both soft on this argument as far as determinist goes.
Okay.
The idea is that everything that we do, right, is very much like how the universe is determined, right? Because of actions, reactions, so forth. And our very being is also, we are genetically programmed, right? So we have our own genes that are going to also influence our reactions and actions, but also our experience. But there's nothing else tangible for us to grasp onto to say this makes the decisions, right? There's nothing else there. There's not a ghost inside the machine. There's
There's not a
evidence.
mind.
Yes.
Okay. So, basically, what it comes down to is I could present a simple physical experiment you could do right now, or you just think about it. You don't have to perform it, and basically, what I'm going to show you is that there's no necessity for you to do anything other than exist and respond to the environment that you're in. So basically, it comes down to you holding your breath. If you hold your breath, what happens to you? You pass
You
out.
have breathing and your brain tells it.
You
to-
shut down. You pass out. Now, in that state of quote unquote unconsciousness, of unawareness, what do you personally do to start breathing again? Or does your body just react and respond to the environment that it's in?
I would think your body just reacts to it.
Correct.
But
In keeping that in mind, in keeping the consciousness of what you are doing in mind and what you are aware of when you perform that action, clearly indicates that you are not in control and nothing else is either, and things just are. Now, that's a physical experiment that you could do, and you could practice to see how it plays out. In doing that, in correlating that with physics, the probabilities that are shown, the randomness of how things react because they're just responding, is a clear indication that there is nothing guiding it to get there. Not even you. All you're doing is responding. And in that response, you don't know when you're going to cough, when you're going to sneeze. There is no control there. There is no determinism in what response you're going to have to a reaction because you're allergic to a flower, because you can't breathe because there's smoke in the air. It's always a response. And that's how the universe was formed. It was one response after the other. And you go as far back as showing that 1,000 years ago, Aristotle, everybody lived on his philosophy that nature abhors a vacuum. And as we progress, light bulbs, which require a vacuum, we come to realize that the vacuum is our default and that anything is probable in that vacuum.
Just to
Even
say,
life.
Sal, I said we were going to go for 10 or 15 more minutes. You've taken four.
You can cut me off.
Four,
Sorry,
okay?
I got into my brain.
No, just round up your point.
Well,
Make your point.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what the
didn't
argument is.
Just
'cause
really quickly make your point.
You respond.
everything
to
you're saying
environment.
is kind of like leading into determinism.
Determinism,
I mean,
yeah.
still, yeah. So I'm just kind of waiting for the
You don't-
rebuttal.
to there is no determinism when it comes to you reacting in your environment because you don't know what's coming. We didn't know any of this
That's right.
was coming. There is no determinism, and there's only
See, he didn't know that was coming. That came completely out of the blue.
we have determinism all across the board, and what I'm trying to show with the exercise that
See, happened again. Had no idea that was coming. You've got
Yeah,
one more
it's
minute to
very
make your point. One more minute to make your point.
I just did. I don't know what I have to repeat. If you didn't get it, I'm sorry.
But that still doesn't prove free will. It just doesn't.
Yeah, I'm not trying to prove free will. There is no such thing.
Okay.
There
There's no
is no
such thing as free will. It's free won't.
Okay.
I've heard that too. Like,
Sure,
I-
but-
I'm starting to lend toward free won't because
Yeah.
like these options pop into my head and I go, which one is the least bad? And that's the one I pick.
But I mean, the idea is of determinism as in, we as a being will automatically react and, react in a certain way based on the programming and experience we have.
Respond.
But yes, it's hard to respond, but it's nearly impossible to react because that program is always changing, right? So, in a sense, and that's the part of the Turing idea, right? You can't ever perfectly map it because it's constantly of change,
Updating.
Yes, exactly.
We can form predictions, and we can
Sure,
act towards those
sure.
predictions. Yes,
Sure, but I mean, it's still the fact that we are reacting. We are not deciding, so to speak. Right? There's no real decision there. It's all determined by the information that's already been processed. Right?
No,
There's a
no
code.
information there. There's just you responding. Like for you to sit there and think that there was something embedded in you that is causing you to do this is a mistake, because up until now there's nothing that shows that. So if there's nothing that shows that, and the only thing is me, and I'm just responding, are present.
Have you seen the Libet's experiment?
Have I? No.
Yeah. Or you uses them. Libet, Libit.
Okay.
Look in that sometime. He found out that our brain is pretty much telling us what to do and making a decision before our consciousness realizes it.
Okay.
Like so
I know what you're talking about now. I've not seen it, but I'm aware of it. Yeah.
But that's an interesting twist too. That even if our brain is getting the signal and stuff, it's responding. It's not.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
really.
It's that whole
kind of
consciousness, unconscious.
Yeah, it's the brain responding.
Yeah.
It's not our consciousness telling it later when we think we make the decision or we already made that decision before.
Richard, have you anything to add to this conversation?
Yeah.
Yes. Peace and respect to you all. Hi, Wes. I'm Richard. Love to have an actual conversation with you sometime when there's more time than what do we got left? 3 minutes, maybe?
Go on. I'll give you another 5 or 10, Richard, seeing as it's you.
Very
Go on,
generous.
say your
Very
bit.
generous.
Go on,
See, but that's exactly the free won't that I'm talking about, that it seems the subconscious makes a short list, and I choose from that short list in my conscious mind, and that's why I'm saying free won't.
See, he didn't know that was going to happen either. It's completely random. Nobody knows what's happening. Huh? Wes is gone now too, you know.
Yeah.
But it demonstrates that list you're going to choose from that list is already decided.
Well,
But you can postulate it's already decided, but you're going to have a hard time showing it was already decided before I decided it.
I can prove you wrong, Richard.
In an MRI scanner.
Proving you wrong is very, very easy, Richard. You can do it with a deck of cards. Because there's no chance that even if you put down the cards and we call out what they're supposed to be, whether they're supposed to match the color or whatever, before we flip the cards, you still don't know what it is. And you still will.
How about if I say it's an echo card?
That has nothing to do with it.
That's right. There is no echo card, but I can still select that.
No, because we're not playing with those cards.
Okay, it's a Uno card in the middle of the deck. How about that?
Doesn't matter. When you lay the cards down, and there's no way of telling what's going to be on the other side. Even if you have tried to manipulate it, there's still the randomness that you're not going to be right.
But that's like selecting your correct. I mean, you're going to be correct by definition because of the definition you made by using a set of playing cards. Not everything has only 52 options. That's just not.
That's just a probability. Eventually, you're going to get there. That's the whole process.
It kind of comes down to being able to prove free will. It seems that you would have to go back in time and then choose a different option, and go back and then continue in time.
Yeah.
And in an A theory of time, we can never do that, right?
Before that. So
it's only moving forward.
Yeah. Since we can't go back in time, it seems impossible to prove that you could have made a choice from A to B to C and taken another route to get C or something. I don't know. I don't know why my ABC had to do with anything, but
Let's see in the live chat is correct. We need an entire stream dedicated to this. I know Seamus has stuff to do in the background. We'll work our way around the room. Everybody can say their bits and bobs, and we'll end it. I really do appreciate Seamus coming. It's a shame we lost John. We'll definitely get them back, and we'll organise a hangout for this or a discussion about this. Wes, send me a message, then I can add you to the Twitter group, and we'll keep in contact that way. Seamus, shill the life out of yourself.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Really? I'm not good at selling myself. I'm not that good of a whore, I guess.
Well, you've got a channel, name it.
Yeah, that's it. Lift up the skirt a bit. So basically the show, like when Wes asked before, the gist of it, it's just basically a bunch of guys, or at least two guys, just like to talk about these kind of things and try to get highbrow guests with very lowbrow humor because we just kind of relax. Yeah, thank you. Just kind of relax and let it go. Some of the other episodes we've done, besides some of the people we've talked to, of course, John's been doing a lot of activism in Ireland under our banner, trying to deal with various issues with the Catholic Church and other state issues there. We also try to just attack people in their bullshit. We have episodes of fuck Brian Cox, and, fuck off Mayor Pete, and all these different things, and just we also did I believe it's 33. I could be wrong on the number. A gospel study, if you will, but it's a parallel gospel study. So we look at all four of the gospels at once. So then that way you can look at all the contradictions and the absence and whatnot as going forward. And we pretty much come to the conclusion that Jesus, if real, was a dick, and really nothing special about him. So.
Well, considering I've only, I know I'm nothing special, but considering you've only come under my radar in this last 2 weeks, man, and what I've seen that you've produced and what videos I've watched, I'm very jealous of your guest list. And,
thank you.
You should definitely be doing more lives, get people more interacted, because
thank you.
For what you have,
that might come down the pike.
Yeah, for the connections that you have and the people you have on, it's not just the whole moving out of this group with the atheism and back and forth and all that. The man's got actual PhDs, doctorates, people who know what they're fucking talking about in these fields, and that's what we're trying to do, is build a community of spreading the knowledge, spreading the information, and let's tap them smart people,
The problem me and John both have is we're not woke. We're not woke enough, apparently, for some people.
He's not woke, can't be on the channel. Not woke.
Very politically incorrect in a lot of our thinkings and such, so it's caused a lot of issues for us. I mean, bottom line is, if I want to talk to somebody, I shouldn't have to explain why. You know what I mean? So that's the start of the part of a lot of the problems.
No, and saying that, man, that's true, because a certain person, whenever I was starting to come off in around 400, 300 subs and stuff, was like, how did you get this person and how did you get that person? I was like, because I sent an email.
Yeah.
What's the worst they're going to do? They're either going to ignore you or say no. You can sit there and worry about it, or you can be excited when they say yes.
Exactly. Yeah, I've been turned down more than than most. So, I've been used to that since high school, so it's okay.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I was going to make a high school boy joke. If you ask 10 girls, at least one of them's going to say yes.
Yeah, that's right. So you gotta ask away. So
Dave, what have you got?
The proper name of the channel. The proper name of the channel is The Free Thought Prophet.
That's it.
All the links are in the description. Check out the description.
Yep.
Dave, what
audio and video. So we're everywhere, as they say. We're podcaster sold, or however the cliche goes. So
yeah, as I say, man, we'll have a wee chat. We'll see if we can do a wee hangout, and we'll see if we can get you set up for the lives and stuff. It's easy.
Oh yeah, it'd be fun.
Yeah, definitely. It's more interaction. Now, Dave, have you got anything coming up on your channel tomorrow at 1 o'clock or anything? No.
Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, coincidentally, I have my quiz.
It's not a quiz.
Full of apparently it is now. Every Sunday quiz, I've given up. It's not my quiz, but it is a quiz.
It's a quiz. Can you give a random question that was on today's show as an example for Seamus?
As an example for Seamus. Does he take offence easily?
No.
Absolutely not. You'd have to really try to offend me.
Come on, document load.
I didn't care if you did or not. I just wanted to hear the most extreme question.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I never thought that you'd be the caveat for my affairs, so we're good.
Well, he already knows about the favourite cartoon cat, and then there was also the favourite cartoon dog. Everybody was a lot quicker on the cartoon dog than they were on the cat, because dogs are
I'll go with my
cooler.
question one if you want. My first ever question, which was screwed up.
Okay, go on then. Whatever you want, man. Pick your question.
Brushing your teeth or wiping your bum, you have to give one up. Which one and why?
Oh, that's fun. Brush my teeth. Yeah. I gotta wipe my ass. I can't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
That's easy.
Yeah,
That's
that
easy.
question, that was the first question you ever asked. That question eventually evolved to last week when he asked, would you rather share a toothbrush with an absolute stranger, or would you rather use sandpaper for toilet paper? And he changed it because people got snitchy, and he was like, one side was 100, the other was 40, because people were using the smooth side.
It happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
I chose the toilet paper.
Yeah. It's always why I always have a fresh sleeve of sandpaper in the car, because you just never know.
And I've been at the 13th of July.
John Wayne toilet paper you're talking about.
That's it. Yeah.
Shit off nobody.
I'm so glad that
don't think
Wes
shit no off
interrupted
nobody.
me.
That's it.
I'm just
You
really
also
glad
have-
that Wes interrupted me, so I didn't finish that story.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I'd look like an absolute dirty tramp. Thank you very much. Moving around the room, Wes, what have you got coming up?
Friday, I'm not sure what we're doing Friday. We're talking about having Amanda, and I don't know. I got to talk to my Christopher and find out. So I'll get back to you, but check out our channel, Guild of Inquiry, and we'll be on Friday doing something.
Perfect. Richard.
6 o'clock Eastern time.
Yeah, I'll try and remember. If everybody DMs me their links, I'll add them to the description for the after party.
Okay, cool.
Richard, have you anybody coming up on your channel? Anybody interesting apart from yourself?
No, there's never been anyone interesting on the channel. But anyway,
I've been on your channel.
if you haven't, if you haven't seen Saturday Night Live, Macho Wipe, please go watch that. Based on the conversation we just had, please go watch Macho Wipe.
I thought you were going to get somebody from Saturday Night Live on your show there for a second.
Hey, Marty is starting up Nerd Wars. Everyone go subscribe to Marty at Nerd Wars. Okay, Marty Camejo. And let's see what else is going on. Been having really good, interesting conversations. Want to do more of that. Becoming a fan of Guild of Reason. What a fun show that is. Trying to answer and find all the flaws before Chris does, and being wrong is an interesting lesson for myself.
Yeah, it's hard to be wrong all the time like it is around him all the time, but it's also refreshing too, because he points out just even he doesn't know either, So if a smart like that guy, like he doesn't know, I don't know. That's
Wes,
okay.
you had your bet. No, you've had your bet. Okay, moving on.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so all these.
Sal, what have you got coming up?
Sal,
Everything's coming up.
Oh, so I got to hack my my software because I lost my 3D rendering programs, and it took me like a whole entire day to do it. So I'll be back on my my rendering and animation. Hopefully, I can finish what I started earlier this year soon. Now that I have all this time, and finally release my first damn video someday.
Yes. No, there's stuff in the works. Give Sal, sub to the man's channel in retrospect of a couple of weeks. Give us a couple of weeks. We're working on some stuff. Seamus, again, I want to just say thank you very much, man, for giving us your time tonight. I know
Oh,
you've
no
got
problem,
stuff
man.
to do.
This
and-
is fun. A lot of fun.
Talk to you, Seamus.
Yeah, before the after
Good
party,
guys.
he said he would give us 20 minutes. The man gave us fucking an hour and 10. So
That's okay. No problem. No problem.
I really
Worked out okay.
appreciate it. Everybody on the panel, thank you very much for coming. Everyone in the live chat, thank
Thanks,
you very
everybody.
much for coming. And
Nice meeting you all too.
yeah, check out the description tomorrow for everybody's links if I can fucking remember. If not, yous are all shit out of luck. Okay, everybody, thanks very much for coming, and we'll oink and we'll out. Bye bye.
Tony.
Okay.